Newscast.
Good evening, I am Tammy Reed in with your VON Major News Package for today, Tuesday, 26 February 2019. In our lead stories nationally, work on reform of a national curriculum continues here in St. Kitts and Nevis, and 2 charged for gun-related incident. Regionally, VIP leader Andrew Foy to be sworn in as BVI's new premier. Internationally, Theresa May offers MPs Brexit delay vote. And in sports, Sri Lanka's former cricket captain banned for 2 years after ICC anti-corruption unit investigation. We'll have the details to these and other stories after this message.
Another look.
Different from how you've seen it before.
Another look.
Takes an in-depth look into business, politics, science, technology, religion, and more.
Another look.
Featuring documentaries from the BBC, regional features, and local ones too.
Another look.
Every Monday at 3 p.m. on the Eastern Caribbean's powerhouse, Vaughan.
Welcome back, and now the national news in detail. A few weeks following their initial visit to the Federation, specialists from Mindbloom Consulting and St. Francis Xavier University have returned for their second mission, which will ultimately assist in reforming the national curriculum. On 21st and 22nd February, the team of consultants met with educators daily at the Solid Waste Management Corporation's conference room. In response to participants' feedback during their initial visit, the core team planned follow-up sessions focusing on what curriculum review looks like in practice and to share a draft of the proposed curriculum and assessment framework. Principal Education Officer here on Nevis, Ms. Zanella Claxton, expressed her satisfaction with regards to inclusivity.
We try to put all of the thoughts together as well as we can. We have said we would not necessarily be able to include everybody's thoughts and everybody's feelings, but we're trying to match those and prioritize them as best as possible so that we can meet the needs of the general community, the general public, but most of all the needs of our students. Not just our students today, not just DeAndre and all the other students in the Federation, but students for the next 10, 15, 20 years. So we're trying to take a futuristic approach to it.
Acting Chief Education Officer Daryl Lloyd said that after 10 years, the Ministry of Education has undertaken this task in an effort to align all the challenges to come up with one comprehensive and state-of-the-art national curriculum. In police news, the 2 males taken into police custody on Saturday, February 23rd, in relation to shots being fired in the Newtown area and firearms that were subsequently found have been charged. 26-year-old Kareem Jeffers of Thomas Street, Ponds Pasture, and a juvenile have been charged for the offenses of possession of a firearm, possession of ammunition, and discharging a firearm in a public place. Close to 7 a.m. on Saturday, police officers and soldiers who were patrolling the area at the time stated that they heard what appeared to be gunshots. They then observed 2 armed masked males running. Both individuals were later apprehended in Ponds Pasture and taken into police custody. No one was injured during the incident. A search was conducted in the Ponds Pasture area, and 1 black mask along with 1 Taurus pistol with 11 rounds of 9mm ammunition and 1 Glock pistol with 13 rounds of 40 ammunition were discovered in an abandoned building. They were also taken into police custody along with other items of evidential value found by members of the crime scene unit who visited and processed both scenes. 2 persons are in police custody assisting with investigations into a fatal shooting incident that occurred on Monday, February 25th. Preliminary investigations have revealed that at about 9 a.m. Monday morning, 30-year-old Chevron Hendricks of Limekeel Housing was fatally wounded by a lone gunman while working in his area. Members of the crime scene unit visited and processed the scene and collected items of evidential value. Investigations into the matter are ongoing. An appeal is being made to anyone who might have any information regarding this incident to contact the Violent Crime Unit or by calling the crime hotline at 707. A 6-member team representing the Nevis Literary and Debating Society left the island today to participate in the 47th Leeward Islands Debating Competition, which will be held from Wednesday 27th February to Monday 4th March 2019 in Antigua. The team is Azel Williams, Kervincia Webb, Delcia Burke, Dahlia Slack, Zidane Wilkin, and Patrice Nisbet II. Team Nevis, the defending champions, will be debating in the semi-finals on night 3, debate number 4 on Saturday 2nd March 2019. The mood for that debate is the lack of trust in our own people is the main reason why the majority of CARICOM states are yet to adopt the Caribbean Court of Justice as their final court of appeal. The winner of night 3, debate 4, will compete in the finals on Sunday 3rd March. The mood for that debate is Caribbean countries have not done enough to afford the LGBTQ, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer community the same legal rights and protections as other citizens. Team Nevis returns on Monday, 4th March 2019. A new exhibition, which will be open at the end of February at the National Museum in St. Kitts, will explore the large-scale migration of people from St. Kitts in search of better opportunities abroad. Crossing Borders will examine this movement of nationals to other countries from the period just after emancipation up to the 1960s. The exhibition will look at the various migrations to countries such as Panama, the Dominican Republic, Cuba, the United Kingdom, Bermuda, and the Virgin Islands, and explore the effects of migration on the local population and economy. It will also feature documentary film footage, photographs, and vintage documents, including a list of migrants to the Dominican Republic and a list of nationals living in the USVI in the early 20th century. Opening in the museum's special exhibit room on Thursday, February 28th, Crossing Borders will run until Friday, May 24, 2019. Chairman of the Conference of the Heads of Government of CARICOM and Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris, led a delegation which met with Secretary General of the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, UNCTAD, Dr. Kituyi, on February 25th at the St. Kitts Marriott Resort. The regional bloc, CARICOM, is collaborating with UNCTAD in fully recognizing the Advanced Cargo Information System, ACIS, in St. Kitts and Nevis and all the other member states. ACIS gives information on cargo in advance of its arrival across different modes and interfaces. By making appropriate information available, it allows the effective logistics management of a transport chain. ACIS is designed, developed, and installed by UNCTAD and is composed of Rail Tracker with Port Tracker for ports and Lake Tracker and Road Tracker for lakes and roads respectively. ACIS will provide customs divisions in the region with the capability to track, monitor, and profile cargo prior to its arrival in or through the region to ensure that both timely and appropriate action is taken by customs and law enforcement officials. Finally, poor preparation during this January sitting of the Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate CSEC is the cause to the continued high levels of absenteeism. That's according to a release from the Caribbean Examinations Council, CXC. CXC's Registrar, CEO, Mr. Glenroy Cumberbatch, said with 89.5% of absentees in the region, being age 17 and over, that this is a major concern that needs to be earnestly addressed. CXC is recommending stronger backing for students from their respective ministries of education by making students aware of available resources for better preparation. The CSEC examination is offered in January, where resit and private students make up the most number of candidates, while the CSEC examination in May-June see mostly in-school candidates and private candidates. CSEC subjects are examined for certification at the general and technical proficiencies, which provides students with the foundation for further studies and entry into the workplace. That's it for the national news segment. You can visit our website at www.vonradio.com or check us out on Facebook at Von Radio and our Von Radio YouTube channel. News from across the region is next.
Home. It means something different to everyone. It's a place you love, a place as unique as you are, a place where you can be yourselves, a place for life's big surprises, and not to mention the small ones. Moments to cherish and moments that last a lifetime. It's a place for nurture and a place where you can grow together. It's home. So whether you're building, purchasing, or renovating, the Bank of Nevis is here to open the door, giving you the confidence to dream and the help you need to get there with a mortgage loan from the Bank of Nevis. The Bank of Nevis Limited, improving the quality of life.
Welcome back, and now the regional news in detail. Out of the BVI. When the final results of the 2019 general elections were read and cheers erupted among the Virgin Islands Party VIP camp, the usually quick-witted VIP leader Andrew Foy said he was left speechless. The VIP won 87 of 13 of the electoral seats, 4 districts and 4 territorial at large. Foy will be sworn in as the next Premier of the British Virgin Islands. Notably, however, he has inherited the office at a time when the UK is proposing through a report to impose what can be described as a radical change such as same-sex marriages onto the BVI. This comes on the heels of the UK report released this month pushing for the BVI to remove its belongership status, impose same-sex marriages, and impose what are known as public registers of company beneficial ownership before 2023. These changes have been recommended not only for the BVI but for all the UK overseas territories. In the Cayman Islands, the Cayman Islands Premier Alden McLaughlin has said that when the fall 2018 labor force survey results are released by the Economics and Statistics Office, it will show that unemployment has dropped to its lowest rate in more than a decade. He said the overall rate is expected to be just 2.9%, and among Caymanians, it will have dropped from 7.3% to 4.6%. Speaking at the Chamber of Commerce legislative lunch last week, McLaughlin said the local economy continued to perform strongly, generating jobs and opportunities for its people. Out of Guyana. Guyana's Minister of Business, Dominic Gaskin, today disclosed that Guyanese might go to the polls later this year to elect a new government of their choice. This is the first time since the no-confidence motion was passed last year that a Guyana government minister has hinted that general elections will be held in 2019. In recent weeks, Alliance for Change, AFC, and the Partnership for National Unity, APNU, ministerial teams clad in party-branded clothing have been on outreaches in Linden as well as in Rupununi region that is inhabited by mostly Amerindians. Gaskin noted that Guyana's largely race-based political landscape and winner-takes-all system led to concerns about neglect and marginalization by the party in government, but parties were increasingly targeting Amerindians and Guyanese of mixed ancestry. The Guyana Elections Commission on Tuesday expected to set firm timelines for conducting house-to-house registration to remove the names of dead persons and migrants and facilitate the internal migration of others. Finally, in Bermuda, a man found with almost $2.5 million of drugs in his home was jailed for 13 years yesterday. Jamal Robinson, 42, admitted possession of heroin, ecstasy, cocaine, and cannabis resin with intent to supply after a search of his Warwick home. The combination of drugs was said to have a street value of $2,456,638. Officers also found $2,150 in cash and more than $20,000 worth of jewelry. Robinson later pleaded guilty to possessing the drugs and possession of the proceeds of criminal activity. Prosecutors suggested a sentence of between 12.5 and 14 years for the drug offenses, plus an additional 3 to 6 months for the criminal proceeds. That's it for our regional stories. Stay with us for news around the world. The international news in detail. British Prime Minister Theresa May has outlined a shift in approach to Brexit via Parliament to reject an amendment version of the current draft deal, and it could see the process extended.
If the House, having rejected leaving with the deal negotiated with the EU, then rejects leaving on the 29th of March without a withdrawal agreement and future framework, the Government will, on the 14th of March, bring forward a motion on whether Parliament wants to seek a short, limited extension to Article 50. And if the House votes for an extension, seek to agree that extension approved by the House with the EU and bring forward the necessary legislation to change the exit date commensurate with that extension.
Pakistan said it will respond to a strike by Indian warplanes inside Pakistan at a time and place of its choosing. India said it hit a training camp in Jaish Mohammed, a militant group responsible for a recent deadly attack in Indian-administered Kashmir. The BBC's E.C. Faruqi in Islamabad says Pakistan did not acknowledge a similar incident 2 years ago.
This time around, Pakistan is admitting that there has been an airspace violation, and Pakistan is now going to take it very, very seriously. And the meetings that have been called tomorrow, especially of the National Command Authority, that is the body that decides matter related to war and etc. That is something which can lead to further escalation in the situation.
In Nigeria, Mr. Buhari took 2 states in the southwest, 1 in the east and 1 in Nigeria's center, while his rival Atiku Abubakar took the capital, Abuja. As results came in, Mr. Abubakar's People Democratic Party, PDP, alleged there were irregularities in the vote. Party chair Secondus called the count incorrect and unacceptable. He claimed there was an attempt by the government and other agencies to manipulate the result, but did not give any evidence of manipulation. The EU, US, and African Union have all expressed concerns about delays and logistical problems with voting on Saturday, but no independent observers have suggested there was vote rigging. Finally, the Vatican says it is pained by the news of the conviction on child sex offences of the Australian Cardinal George Pell. Cardinal George Pell has been found guilty in Australia of sexual offences against children, making him the highest-ranking Catholic figure to receive such a conviction. Pell, due to face sentencing hearings from Wednesday, has lodged an appeal. More in this report.
After an unprecedented papal summit which ended on Sunday with bishops around the world promising to tackle the scandal of clerical abuse, today was an opportunity for Pope Francis to prove that words would be followed by decisive action. Instead, the Vatican announced that despite Pell's conviction for sexually abusing 2 boys, he would not be removed from the College of Cardinals nor from the priesthood until after his appeal had been heard. Victims of predatory priests say the Church is using legal process to avoid confronting the evil in their midst, and that until he loses his red hat, Cardinal Pell would still be allowed to vote for the next pope.
Thus to the end of our news segments. The latest in sports is next.
Most of us spend the better part of each weekday at the workplace. So why not make your office environment the kind of setting that helps you function at your personal best by outfitting it with top quality furniture, high-end photocopiers, printers, versatile office supplies, and the latest technology. The friendly and knowledgeable staff at the TDC Business Center are happy to provide you with personalized service to help you create an office space that's the total package. TDC Business Center, providing solutions that work.
Welcome back, and now the sports in detail. In cricket, Sanath Jayasuriya has been banned for 2 years from all cricket-related activity by the ICC's anti-corruption unit. This is in response to the former Sri Lanka captain refusing to cooperate with investigation concerning corruption in the country. It is only after Jayasuriya admitted to the offence that the ICC issued the ban, which comes into effect immediately. Last October, the former World Cup winner was charged by the ACU with 2 counts of breaching the ICC anti-corruption code. The charges included refusal to cooperate with an ACU investigation, obstructing or delaying the investigation, including concealing, tampering with, or destroying any documentation or other information which may be relevant. Jayasuriya also refused to hand over the mobile phones he had been using during the investigation, something the ACU has specifically asked him to do. The charge came on the back of a year-long investigation in Sri Lanka, where the ACU said corruption had become an inherent part of the system. In basketball, the Cuban men's basketball team won their ticket to the FIBA AmeriCup 2021 after achieving 3 victories in the same number of games in the pre-qualifier tournament held last Sunday in Belize. In the last match, Cuba won 123-70 over Antigua, with highlight to pivot Javier Justice, who scored 23 points with 15 rebounds, 4 assists, and same amount of blocks, according to the official website of the contest. However, the scoring leader of the game was Cuban forward Lisban Valdez with 24 units, including 3 including 6 three-pointers. Dominica has called up 2 overseas-based players, Reese Rebes and under-20 player Corbin Paul, to a 20-man squad to represent Dominica in the Senior Men Windward Islands football tournament carded for St. Vincent and the Grenadines from 28 February to 9th March 2019. Head coach of the Dominica national senior men's team, Rajesh Joseph Latrue, said that the addition to the team of the 2 overseas-based players will add further depth to the team. Rebes is a member of the Chalfont St. Peter FC in England, while Paul plays for LA Enterprises Bombers FC in the Dominica Football Association Premier League. Finally, in athletics, Greenhouse, with 219 points, emerged winner of the Gingerland Secondary School annual sports meet held on Thursday, 21st February at the Gingerland Recreation Grounds. The meet was held under the patronage of Mr. Lemuel Pemberton, former student and former teacher at the school. The athletes competed in the 400, 800, 1500, 100, 200, 4x100 and 4x400 meter races. Blue House with 211 points, second place, and Red House 172 points, third place. That's it for the sports segment. The general weather forecast is next. Welcome back, and now the local weather forecast for St. Kitts and Nevis. Weather tonight, partly cloudy in general with a 40% or moderate chance of brief passing showers. Weather tomorrow, partly cloudy in general with a 40% or moderate chance of brief passing showers. Winds east-northeast with average speeds between 10 to 16 knots or 19 to 30 kilometers per hour, with slight higher amounts over coastal waters. Seas 1.5 to 1.8 meters or 5 to 6 feet. Sunrise tomorrow is at 6:31 a.m. And that's how we wrap up the major news package for today, Friday, 26 February 2019. Before we go, let's take a look at the headlines once again. Nationally, work on reform of a national curriculum continues here in St. Kitts and Nevis, and 2 charged for gun-related incident. Regionally, VIP leader Andrew Foy to be sworn in as BVI's new premier. Internationally, Theresa May offers MPs Brexit delay vote. And in sports, Sri Lanka's former cricket captain banned for 2 years after ICC anti-corruption unit investigation. On behalf of the rest of the news team, I am Tammy Reed, wishing you a pleasant evening.